All right, well, that shortly came now. It's time for some extra time. And we've got Augie in. Look how happy he is. I've never seen him look this happy before.
I'm in New York.
He got makeup today. He got a new Hugo Boss tie that cost $250, I believe.
No.
He got a new blazer.
Wasn't that your school blazer? You went to school.
Still fits me.
Still fits, that says a lot. All right, shall we get into some questions? First one, Shaka, has your opinion of the Club World Cup changed?
Not entirely, no. And I guess I'll see in the longer term how the teams who've gone deep in the tournament, how they fared during their league campaigns. Let's be honest, there's no suggestion that PSG are going to do anything but win in France. Chelsea going to the final, we see how that shapes up. But I still think it's been a glorified pre-season friendly, albeit with a very expensive purse at the end of it. But still, I think most teams have approached this as exactly that.
Well, Shaka's been able to enjoy it from a comfy, air-conditioned studio, but Augie and I have been in the trenches. I was in the trenches a lot longer than he was because he only came for the big knockout rounds. You were in the car park, which I've been chilling in. But Augie, how have you been enjoying it? What do you think about it? Is your view on it as positive as Shaka's?
I mean, look, I think it's been a real kind of wake-up call for the World Cup next year. A lot of things that, us Europeans were probably not aware of in terms of the weather. And I don't mean just the heat, but the disruption. We saw, MLS game last night, cancelled because of the weather. That surprised me how many games are kind of disrupted by the weather. The travel, Real Madrid couldn't make their press conference on the day before the semi-final because their flight was delayed by the weather. So I think what a lot of European teams and fans have to get used to for next year is that you come to the US in the summer, you have a great time, but you might be delayed, you might have a game cancelled, you might get wet, you might get quite hot in a car park if you're not careful.
You're not careful?
But not everybody coming to the World Cup will be as white and pasty as you.
No. Exactly.
No, that's true,
Some of us can handle the heat.
Have a holiday before you come here and get some sun. But if PSG win it, I think that will make it a better tournament because they're the best team in the world. And I think we need the best team in the world to win the Club World Cup.
And Robbo, what do you make of it? Because, of course, we were speaking off camera to Gareth Bale, and he mentioned that he felt the heat too. And, of course, he is from Wales, but he said he would never in a million years want to play in this.
In my view, there's too much football, and it's a tournament that has been thrown in. But what I was surprised at, from afar, I thought the teams would be playing at half pace. I thought they'd play semi-first teams, they'd play a lot of reserve players and the squad. That hasn't been the case. The games that I've seen, and I've only seen the last half of the tournament, I think they've been very competitive. I think there's been some good football played. And when they've scored goals, you can see the players have enjoyed it and wanted to go on. Probably there's a money incentive as well. Of course there is. But I think it's been better than I thought it would be.
So, my thing with that is, players are like. As much as we say this is a pre-season friendly, you put 11 of your best players on a pitch. They go. You're going to, we were no different than
it's the same as any training session.
Exactly. We would play as hard as we could. Now, and why I say, I think time will tell. If, and I don't mean to be picking on Chelsea, it could be anybody here, but Chelsea are in the final. If Chelsea have an injury crisis come October, let's say, everybody will start pointing, well, look what happened this summer. And you could use that for every single team. We probably won't keep as close an eye on the Brazilians, etc. in this tournament. And then you start questioning, well, was it really worth it? If I don't mean to be picking on Chelsea, it could be anybody.
Because you don't want to say it about PSG, because we've been loving their football.
If Chelsea miss out on a Champions League spot, for argument's season at the end of next season, then all of a sudden it's, was it really worth it? Was the 100 million worth it? Those are the questions I think, again, time will tell.
The hard thing for the coaches and the sports scientists will be, how do we treat these players now? The Chelsea players, the PSG players, the Real Madrid players. We're starting the season in 3 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, whatever it is. How are we going to give them rest? Are we going to give them light training? Are we going to give them a couple of weeks off and then go to a normal pre-season? How are we going to treat these players? And that's something they haven't had to do with the club sides for quite some while.
And there's a World Cup at the end of the season, which is
of course
a big thing. It's a lot of players.
The thing.
Exactly. 6 months out, players were thinking, I'm going to get fit for the World Cup. But if they're still wondering when their pre-season
point, too much football. Absolutely too much football.
The positivity in this room. Speaking of positivity, this question's for Mark. What advice would you give to an aspiring young sports journalist? I love this. Give us a Shaka voice.
Pack cool clothes.
Be good enough not to have
light t-shirts.
Do not wear black in July in New York.
Be good enough not to have to stand in a hot car park in the summer. That's one thing I'd say. No, listen, you just have to just go do it the hard way. Go to games, speak to people. It's not all about taking pictures and just, being, seen. It's all about putting the hard yards in. Getting to know players on the way up, getting to know players when they're not famous, and getting to know.
Wait, look at me when you say that.
I'm looking for a nod of agreement.
or Alexis, do what we've seen him do. Every time we have a chat, he's writing something down. What did he say? What did? Yeah. I can use that one.
Yep,
I've got that. Yeah.
We call that the ops.
Be inquisitive. Yeah.
Be inquisitive. Didn't they say curiosity killed the cat though?
What?
Well, cats have 9 lives.
But I don't know if young aspiring journalists do. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I skipped a question, so we're going to go to it because this one is for Robbo and Shaka. And he says, please ask Robbo and Shaka if either of them have played against a team that left them feeling completely inferior during the game like PSG's recent opponents, Real Madrid, probably feel.
I've done that many a time. I mean, again, we...
For club or country?
Both, really. Listen, we've spoken about Manchester United of old, incessantly. Yeah, of old.
What a wonderful time that was.
Of old, incessantly. And there were times that you play against them and you walk on the field and you're thinking, you come out of the tunnel, you're thinking, I'm up for this here. I'm up for this today. And then about 15 minutes in, you just realize, blew us off, ref. They're going to win. Handsomely. Let's just call it. There were those teams. At the Arsenal with Thierry Henry, we were discussing Arsenal of old. I mean, they deflating when they in full stride.
There was a game, and we're talking with one of our producers, who's an Arsenal supporter. When I was quite young, probably 18, Liverpool were always the best team.
Stevie's Liverpool?
I'm not sure he was there then, but I don't think he was in the team. And Liverpool were the best team, and we had some good players, and we thought we were going to compete. And it was the start of the season, about the third game of the season, second game at home, boiling heat, and they just passed us off the park. We were trying to run and close people down. Dalglish and Rush were at their best. I think Souness had gone. It might have been Molby in midfield. They had Lawrenson and Hansen at the back. They just took us apart, and they only won the game 2-0, but we never got close to them. And that was when you came off the field and thought, we might have a problem here.
Yeah.
I remember watching Man United against Barcelona Champions League final 2011, and that for me was just
that was.
And I remember Ryan Giggs telling somebody the story that at 80 minutes, Gerard Piqué was sprinting past him deep into the United territory, thinking this guy's a centre half.
Yeah.
They played 80 minutes. I can't move, and he's just flying past me.
Who was the Korean that they always used to play in those big games? He was going to outrun Barcelona.
Ji-sung Park.
And I can remember watching him thinking, oh my goodness, I just can't move anymore. I've done so much running, chasing the ball, and I never got near it.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah, that Barcelona, don't think anyone could get near them. Next question, Robbo, did playing abroad ever cross your mind, or was it always England for you?
Well, no, it didn't really cross my mind. It was always England. I certainly wouldn't have been able to play in heat because I didn't like the heat. And at the time, there was also, I think, a ban on English players, or English clubs playing abroad. So English players didn't really go abroad. Kevin Keegan did. Tony Woodcock, who came back to Arsenal. A little bit later on, people like Haitley and Ray Wilkins and Souness went to Sampdoria because Italy was the place to go. But it never crossed my mind at that particular point.
But even then, that was pre-Bosman, so there was the 03 foreigners rule for clubs. Yeah. So there was not a lot of exchanges
and there was not many foreign players.
Because you were allowed. I think you were allowed 3 international players.
Tottenham were thought of as very fashionable because they bought Ardiles and Ricky Villa to Spurs, and that was a massive thing. And my first season at Arsenal, we bought Vladimir Petrovic, who was the Yugoslav international, who was magnificent, but they couldn't get a work permit for him. So he couldn't play until Christmas. He didn't play very well until the final few games when Terry Nilad already decided to give him back. So, there wasn't too many foreign players playing in the English league at the time.
All right, thank goodness times have changed. Next question, this one's for Robbo and Mark. So weird when people call you Mark. I keep going, who? Augie. Robbo and Augie, what is your favorite American food?
Oh boy. Oh dear me, favourite American food?
What qualifies as American food?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
I tell you what Augie does not like, a Philly cheesesteak, because he was in Philadelphia and I went and I researched. I went and I researched the best place to get it. I've never even been to Philadelphia, and a friend gave me the recommendation. I sent it to Augie and I said, Augie, go here, because he said he was bored, and he said he had just finished a Soul Cycle class, and why would he want to clog his arteries?
Yeah, okay. You've killed me there.
You gotta try it once. Everything clogs your arteries nowadays.
A Hershey bar. I like a Hershey bar.
Oh.
Would I like to say that?
Yeah, sure.
Of all the American food you've tried,
You can
New
say
York
whatever
pizza.
you want.
Yeah.
See, most of the food I've had since I've been here has either been. We went to an Argentinian stroke Italian restaurant. Which
Yeah.
Nothing American about
Nothing
that.
American
We went
about
to
that. We did
Spanish
tapas last night.
tapas.
Yes.
But one thing I will always have when I'm in West Hartford is a clam chowder.
Oh, a New England clam chowder. That's fire.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness, that
That's
is
fire.
just fantastic.
Augie, a Hershey bar?
Yeah.
Of everything you've tried.
I've got a sweet tooth. And that's why I've got a Soul Cycle.
That's how he stays.
That's why he has to take his teeth out at night.
Wow, a Hershey bar. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I was trying to throw something else at you, but probably not. Final question, Robbo, which city is easier to navigate, New York or London? And have you ever tried driving around New York?
Many, many years ago, when it was the Confederations Cup and we were doing it from Bristol, Connecticut, we had a couple of days off. And a Brazilian journalist, I can't think of his name now, and I decided we had a couple of days off, we'd drive to New York. Not the best idea. First of all, I got stopped by the police for driving on
the wrong side of the road?
No, not the wrong side, in the wrong lane. And then we couldn't find anywhere to park, and I ended up parking it somewhere where everybody said, you're lucky that your car survived. That's all I could say. I don't know where it was, but when I told somebody, they went, and your car was still there when you came back? Oh,
boy.
Yeah.
I did the drive the other day from Connecticut, and it was a white knuckle ride. the roads in Connecticut are nice, but as soon as you get to New York, I was shocked by the standard of the roads.
But how do you compare it to London?
London's easier.
London's
Because
easy.
Connecticut's a completely different kettle
I get
of
the
fish.
train to London.
Oh, that's
back out,
true.
so,
Do you know what? I would say I find New York easier to navigate. I think London has a lot
Question wasn't
of...
for you, it's for me.
No, but I'm just saying, because as someone who's driven in both, I feel like London has a lot more narrow, older streets. And when you go on them, you're just like, oh, Lord, this is
You're not supposed to drive then, though.
Well, the sat-nav put me there. Whereas New York, at least, there has the big motorway
I
highway.
would say in America, I'm driving from Boston to West Hartford. It says speed limit 55 miles an hour. There's not
People are
one
flying.
person.
Yeah,
nobody
driving
does
at
that.
55
Nobody
miles.
does.
No.
Yeah, nobody does.
I looked at I'm thinking I'm having to stay going this speed just to keep up with everybody else or keep out of everybody else's way. And I'm doing 75 instead of 55. What's that about?
Yeah.
Robbo's got the need for speed.
Apparently it's just a suggestion.
Just a suggestion.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Not easy to say.
I'm just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's
just
it,
a
yeah.
suggestion, just a suggestion, just a suggestion.
Yeah, so that's,
Slightly.
now I know.
Now you know.
Anyways, the truth is, though, we asked this question to Robbo, but he absolutely hates driving. He prefers to be driven, so much so that his hotel from the studios is literally about a 2-minute walk, but he had a car pick him up to make the 2 minutes.
Let's get this right.
No, she's right.
I didn't
It was
book
like
it.
500 feet, literally. And Robbo got his... This is
I
the proof.
moonwalked to the hotel faster than Robbo got there.
Shaka and our producer Pete got to the hotel before us, but I must say,
before you go on, who got the benefit of that car?
I got the benefit.
Because it was raining. It was raining, and she didn't want to get her hair wet.
I didn't want my hair to get wet because it was so beautifully done.
And
by
you're
my girls
hammering
here.
Robbo.
Yeah, it was you. I was going to walk, and you went, no, let's stay in the car.
Ah, boy.
And do you know what the drive?
I also said, should we give Ali a lift? You went, no.
Look at that,
She's
Robbo
in
can't
the
even
backseat.
carry his own suitcases. He has to have people do it for him.
Oh, boy.
This is what happens when you're a Stuart Robson.
Yes. The old pink jacket.
But it did happen, but it was by accident.
That didn't look like an accident to me. That looked like you
he
were
was
climbing
enjoying
in.
it.
That looked like you were willingly walking in.
Done that
I
before.
didn't book the taxi. I did not book the taxi from 320, whatever this, Hudson Street to
326.
420 Hudson
Book
Street.
a taxi from
I
320
don't
to
even think it was that
326.
far. It was 3:20 to like 3:26.
And he waited an hour outside.
But Robbo did give him a nice tip, so that was lovely of you.
I did
Because
give him a nice tip. He was waiting.
He was
and I gave
waiting
him
for
a nice
about an
tip,
hour and a half.
That was because you've got the show going on for so
Hold
long.
on.
I was told.
The fare was 45 cents. What's 20% of that?
I gave him $30, I'll let you know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, money bags.
Well, no, I just thought it was right because it was a waste of his time. He was sitting there for an hour. He then just drove down there. I mean, I had to make it worth it.
Oh, boy.
All right.
You didn't put your hand in your pocket,
I was
did you?
I didn't know I was allowed to tip because it was not even my reservation. I was told to walk to my hotel.
So
my
that
hotel's
was
30
the reason
minutes
not to
away.
give any tip. Oh,
My
well,
hotel's a
that's good with me.
30-minute drive away.
That's the original. I didn't know I was allowed to tip.
I didn't know that.
know
I
I
have
was
to get
allowed
used to it. I have to get used to it. We're not used
What I would say is we've been out for 2 or 3 meals. You, I, Ali, and Alexis. Has you paid for anything yet?
First of all, I got my card out yesterday.
She didn't even buy us a
You were there
Hershey
as well
bar.
last night.
I got my card out yesterday, and these wonderful gentlemen decided to treat me.
Not even a Hershey bar.
I will buy a Hershey bar for Augie today, since apparently that's his favorite food
In America.
in America. What's your favorite English food? Because I would say nothing, but okay.
Well, again, I'll ask. What qualifies as
What
English?
qualifies
There's no good English food.
Beans, exactly.
No good
beans,
English food.
beans on toast. Ooh, let's go.
No, I can't give you answers to that one.
A roast dinner.
Oh, a roast dinner's not bad.
Roast dinner's
And a good pie isn't bad. A good pasty isn't bad.
That's Cornish.
I like a good pie. It's in England,
Cornish
isn't
pasties.
it?
But it's only a little
It's
area.
in Dan Cornish.
Yes.
There we go. Dan Thomas, he's going to buy us some Cornish pasties.
Obviously, it doesn't
too.
build you up, does it?
No. All right, well, that's pretty much it, Augie. Thanks for joining us
Pleasure.
in studio.
Freezing. You look cold.
You look cold. I'm actually very cold. We're going to go get some dinner
I've seen
now.
another side to Augie. You've been top man on this.
Augie, you and I are back in the trenches tomorrow, right? We've got some media days, match day -2.
Never ends.
It never ends. We are consummate professionals. We are off to get some reaction from Chelsea and PSG ahead of this Club World Cup final. But ESPN FC will be back on from Bristol, Connecticut. Please tune in. Craig Burley will be back in studio as well.